So I thought I'll start with, contextualizing real-time payments from the industry which I represent, which is insurance. And in our business, the moment that matters is the time when you actually invoke the insurance policy. You have a policy for years and, you've been using it, but it's at the time that you need it the most that you remember the insurance policy. Though the claim is a moment of truth, it's a moment that matters. And it's when people experience these events, right? They have a broken phone, they have a burnt out house, they have a car which has crashed, they're in the hospital, that they realize the value of insurance. They may have been paying for it for years, but this is the time when they need the insurance company to serve them the most, and that's precisely where real-time payments come in. So it's no wonder that 87% of customers see the claims experience as a leading or probably the leading indicator of whether they would remain with the provider or migrate to a new one. And more than half of customers are willing to switch insurance companies if they feel that they can receive claim payments instantly. So this turns out to be the do-or-die factor as far as insurance companies are concerned, which is why real-time payments can make a significant difference to the insurance landscape. And contextualizing it also from a geography point of view, especially if you look at the digital payment context in India, it's been a remarkable success story. I think the way we've been using digital payments over the last few years, and today India is seen not as a follower but as a leader, it's also made a significant difference. In fact, the COVID-19 period, right, while there's been a lot of discussion on what have been the benefits and the drawbacks of this period, but clearly one area which has seen a leg up is digital payments, and that continues to sustain itself, even as the pandemic era is over. And without digital payments, whether it's customers making payments for premium or whether it's insurers, making payments for claims, gratification is not possible. Now, when we talk about payments, we tend to think only about the transfer of money. But what's also important is the whole experience, that comes with it, right? We've seen customers, who have possibly received money, but then there has been no notification. And then the customer wonders whether he received the money. So sending the information along with the payment is as important from a customer experience point of view. The other is we all worry about safety. One incident and, your whole reputation can, go for a toss. So it's also important to ensure that, the payment system is secure, because trust, is one of the key factors, when it comes to the whole experience, be it insurance, be it payments, or for that matter, the whole BFSI sector as well. And also we need to ensure that today it's device agnostic, because we all access various parts of the ecosystem from a variety of devices. So we just need to ensure that the customer experience is smooth across all devices and all platforms. So what I thought I'll do is, just take you through, our secret sauce, so to speak, in terms of, what's helped us. And after this, I'll talk about two use cases, which will drive home the point. Now, when we talk about customers, normally there is a tendency to, jump in and just latch on to the latest bandwagon in town. We talk about blockchain, we talk about IoT, we talk about AI, ML, and then we try to think, how can we make a difference? But the point is, we need to start with the customer. So for us, the first step is to listen to customers. Sounds very obvious, but it's a step which many customers have missed, many firms have missed. And there are examples of firms, which are gone out of existence simply because, they didn't do this. Some of them are well known. I'll not take any specific names here. So that's clearly one. I think the second aspect for us is what differentiates, the winners from the ones who get left behind. Because when you speak to customers, it's very easy to figure out their obvious needs. But when you listen closely, you can figure out what are the latent or hidden needs, which sometimes customers themselves don't articulate. And if you can address those needs, it really sets you apart from the crowd. The third is, then to review the current landscape and then, understand how are you positioned today from not just your technology, but all your, the aggregate of all the systems and processes that you have. And then we come to step 4, which is to re-engineer this, because you need to fix it, streamline it before you deploy the digital or tool or the technology that you have in mind. And only then you come to step 5. So very often, firms short step this process and go to step 5, and then they find that the solution, possibly turns out to be a white elephant. So that's why it's very important to follow this 5-step process. So I'll just jump into the 2 use cases, and I'm keeping this presentation very brief. After these 2 use cases, I'll basically end my presentation. So let's talk about motor insurance, which is the biggest form of insurance that you see in the country today. It's mandatory when you buy a new vehicle, and many of you, would have cars and therefore would also have, motor insurance. Earlier, what used to happen? In case you crashed your car, you would have to call up the insurance company. They would depute a surveyor. He would come to the site of the crash, prepare a report, and then submit it to the insurance company. So the whole process can take days. Now we have simplified it, and today claims can get settled in as low a turnaround time as 20 minutes. So what have we done? We've told customers, you don't need to call the surveyor. You can basically take photographs of the car. It's a two-step process for the customer. Just take photographs and then upload them using the mobile app. Once this is done, so for a customer, just 2 steps. We have an AI engine which leverages machine vision to basically understand the extent of damage by looking at the images. And in minutes, it can basically convey to the customer that this is the extent of damage and even the amount. The customer gives his consent and the money is transferred. So for customers, it's a wow experience, right? Within 20 minutes, you crashed your car and you get your money, right? What would take days earlier. So that's exactly how real-time payments can make a significant difference to customer experience. And I'm talking not about niche product, but the biggest line of business in the insurance industry in India. The other is a solution which we launched years ago. This was launched nearly 6 years ago. This is where we leverage blockchain to make a significant difference in travel insurance. Now imagine if you had taken a travel policy for a long distance international travel trip, and let's say your flight was delayed. You would immediately focus on making arrangements all over again, catching the next flight, figuring out how to cancel and reschedule meetings or your bookings at the destination. If someone were to tell you at that point in time that you are eligible for a claim payout, it would be the last priority on your mind. So we said, how do we minimize customer effort? So by leveraging a blockchain-based solution, we put ourselves in a solution where we would get information about the flight being delayed, and without the customer having to intimate us, we would intimate the customer. So for the customer, it's a wow. It's the reversal of effort. He gets an intimation, and then we just need to know that he is on that flight. We transfer the money to him. So just look at how we were able to transform the whole landscape. So again, we're talking about real-time payments, be it car insurance or be it travel insurance. So I've talked to you about 2 use cases which we have actually deployed, and then earlier I taken you through the 5-step process and how real-time payments can make a significant difference to customer experience. And with the lights of digital payments, I think this is only going to get stronger and stronger. As I said, I'll kept it crisp. Wish you all a good day. Thank you.